Hey everybody, this is Kyle, or Vulcan Wolverine. It is Thursday, I think October 15th, and I just wanted to make a video. I just woke up, it's like 2:30, I stayed up late, and I've been doing okay when I'm awake because I have plates and plugs. I moved some around last night. So I moved my defenses around last night, but while I was sleeping, I guess as every target individual knows, they really they can hurt you. So they were hitting my back and my chest to where it was like hard to move. It's very, very painful. I mean, it feels like I'm dying. Once I got up, I moved around the house. I got in my car to come over to my parents' house where I'm at now, and it's a lot less. It was a lot less. So I'm trying to figure out, because they've got the three houses around me kind of involved, and I'm trying to figure out, where the remote stuff is, who has ground weapons. It's kind of overwhelming because it's been so long, and they're just building it up. The guy's funneling weapons into his house. The house next to me that's rented with the Mexican gentleman, and I'm pretty sure my main stalker's house is rented too. I'm trying to get my mom to figure that out, because we might be able to do something with just buying the houses out from under them or something if she agrees to do that. But it's really ridiculous because I know that the house where the Mexican gentlemen live, I know it's rented, and they're trying to murder me to get me out of the house. So it's a very ridiculous thing, and the one really unique thing. So I want to go through a couple of things on this video, and I do kind of have a plan on this video, so it's different from the other ones. I kind of have a plan on those too, but one thing I wanted to talk about that's really, really interesting to me, and I was going to see where it went, because I know there's remote neural monitoring. We all know that. Maybe every target individual doesn't have it, but at a certain point, they actually start, when you're thinking, they're microwaving your visual cortex and getting visuals. So for the last 3 days, I haven't said a word to them, not a word, and they still react. They still react if I'm watching a movie, or if I'm thinking something, they will react as if I said something straight to them. This isn't great information because it makes me look even crazier. It's like I'm not saying anything in the house. I'm not saying anything that they could surveil visually, but they are reacting. They're reacting to the remote neural monitoring. I was thinking, my thoughts were that if I stop reacting, that the vehicular stalking, this guy wouldn't be able to lie as much, to police and get them to be involved in vehicular stalking, and the regular citizens, which they call them the Citizens Corps. If you go on DHS Fusion Center guidelines, these people who are stalking us, they call it patrolling, and they call themselves the Citizens Corps. It's the worst, most horrible thing that I've ever known of. They somehow mash this DHS Fusion Center, and then these guys start funneling weapons into their houses to rape and murder people. So I don't think DHS is given a go-ahead. This is my theory, that this is a program that's run away with them, that some people know that it's being used to experiment and even kill Americans, rape and kill them, cook them with frequencies, with EHF, ELF, electromagnetic frequencies. I don't think DHS and the DOD said, yeah, go ahead and just kill a bunch of families. I think it's gotten out of control, and now people that are low on the totem pole are putting people on lists, and they're just saying stuff about them, and it's gotten out of control. So the DHS, fusion centers, I would disagree with it, but if nobody was getting killed and they were just surveilling citizens on the road, just follow them around, I wouldn't have a problem with that. The only problem is that they can't know and they can't surveil you and vehicularly track you unless they have that core of people surveilling you in your house, knowing what you're going to do, where you're going to go. So it's something that I guess was maybe a good idea to keep people safe from terrorism, turned into a full-blown murder party. where murderers get together, and it kind of funnels the psychopaths and the killers together, and they all know what's going on. They all know the weaponry, or most of them do, except the Citizens Corps. They just think they're patrolling, somebody who's dangerous or crazy. And it really, but even the vehicular stalkers are psychopaths. They don't research things. They don't know what they're doing. They're patrolling innocent citizens. So it's a very corrupt thing that may have started with a spark of a good idea. I would have an argument with that spark of a good idea, but that spark of a good idea about like kind of watching out for neighborhoods and stuff like that. Even if I had an argument with it that it could turn into something worse, like it has, I could live with that. I think I could live with that because nobody would be being murdered and raped. But what the problem is, the technology is so sophisticated that I've stopped reacting in my house. Like, I've been going about my business as much as I can. I can't do much because they're really hurting me. But they don't care. They're not, like, when I'm sleeping, I guess, I don't know insanity that well, or murderous insanity that well, but even if you're a sleeping body, these groups of people that are microwaving you and shooting frequencies, they're like reacting to your thoughts or even your dreams sometimes in your visual cortex, which is scary because they don't need you to do anything. They just need you to think, and you can't stop thinking. And especially when somebody's murdering your family or something like that, or cooking you in the night, you're not going to have positive thoughts towards them. So they're going to be like, "See, look, he thinks I'm a murderer because I'm murdering," and then they just kind of cycle it out from there. And so the not talking, it has been a change. It has been a change, and since it's a change, it's good for me. Because usually I'll react to them, I'll talk, I'll be like, this is just so stupid, blah, blah. But instead, what I've been doing is just kind of stop talking, and I notice more and more how they're reacting to something else. It's not just me moving around my house and stuff. They're reacting to actually remote neural monitoring. So they don't need you to talk. That's what I would suggest, because of my experiences. I don't know. It's a very confusing thing because my vehicular stalking has picked up. Because I guess when I became silent, a lot of this guy who's hurting me, he's like, look at him, and they can like really twist, like, hey, we're seeing he's a dangerous guy and he's not talking now, so he's more dangerous. So they can really kind of go either way on it. But what I would suggest, and this is just for me, everybody's got to kind of take it their own way because this is unknown territory. We're going to have to burn a trail through this. We're going to have to send out the information. We're going to have to get through this and get this technology out of these people's hands because they're murderers and rapists. So I stopped talking. I feel better. I feel better about myself. I feel less connected to them, even though they are kind of hooked in other ways. I feel like I have more control. I haven't said anything to them, so I can't stop thinking. So if they want to go ahead and pin me down for that, I feel less guilty. I feel less guilty than me reacting to their murder, which I feel no guilt for anyway, but this makes me feel even less guilty. And then I can move forward on things that I want to do because I'm more freed up. They're hooked into me, so it's like, you can't stop thinking your thoughts. So we have a thought police out there, but they're not police. They're not authority figures. They're just people who are handed this technology. They're really going to hurt our society. Most of them, too, are very focused on their little situation, so they don't really care about the whole picture. They don't care, or they want to do bad in society. They want to make society bad. It's either or, and either one is the worst thing possible for a human being to do. But I kind of wanted to tell you all about that. So for the last 3 days, and I guess today is the 4th day, I will have said nothing to them, nothing at all. Not responded in my house or in the car or anything like that. It has actually gotten worse though, because of that. Because I think they can if you're not talking, like, I think they can lie to a policeman and say, man, this guy's being really silent, we're killing him, he's got to be dangerous, he's got to be like planning something or something like that. So these people are so they're such liars that they can use nothing better than they can use something that they can't lie about. So you choose on your own, see how it works. Sometimes I'm like, well, we should be shouting at the top of our lungs that we're being murdered. The only problem with that is that then it's like policemen don't know, and they're coming and they just think you're yelling at nothing. Your neighbors might hear you yelling at nothing. Well, we're really yelling at something, but they see it as you yelling at nothing. So being silent, you might just want to think at your attackers. And I heard William the Bastard when I first learned about this. He said, "You just think at them." He's like, just think the worst thoughts you can think at them, or thoughts that you're fighting them or whatever. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought he had gone crazy, but now I'm so deep into it that it really. It's the same thing. Like, if I think something to them like, this is really stupid, you're the most evil man I've ever known of, and I just think that thought in my head, he's getting it the same way. They get a readout of what you're saying in your head, and then they get a visual of the remote neural monitoring. So this is technology that changes our whole society, and it's hidden, and it's being used by people who want to just rape and murder and make up whatever lie they want. This guy at this point, I hear the V2K. There are 3 people who are just really with it, and then there's a person in there who's really trying to fight it, which I feel so bad because, they don't listen to her, and they just try and handle her, which, that's who they are. But it makes me feel bad that good person's hurting. It's so sad because I hear the V2K, and this guy is like, yeah, we gotta go ahead and hit him in the head. We gotta do this. It's over is a lot of the stuff they say. So he really is he's ex-army. He belongs to some other stuff that I don't know about. I have theories, and he's ready to end it. He's ready to murder me in my house. I'm being quiet and going about my business. I plan on trying to get just as much defensive stuff, trying to figure it out where it is around my house. I put everything up against his wall, but I do know the Mexican gentlemen on the other side are involved. So they may be doing a whole little bait and switch, and keeping moving everything to their house, and then making me think because it's on radar, so it can sound like it's coming from different places, and it could really be over at that other house where I don't have any plates, but I have a bunch of plugs on that side. It's really tough stuff. I woke up this morning, and it's just right now I feel better. And it's only been, I woke up about 1:30. But once I woke up and started walking around for about 10 minutes, the pressure to my chest and my back was gone, because you really have to be in my situation, I have to be very, very still for them to get a good attack on me. And if I sleep for a long time, they just get beads of ELF on me, like streams of ELF going to my back or to the side of my head or something like that. So if I get up, I move around, it's a lot better. Yesterday, though, I don't really know what they're doing. I think they're just getting more weapons. I think they're just, either putting more power to the weapons or getting more weapons. But I was driving in the car, and they hit me in a point in my chest where it felt like I was having kind of a heart attack or a stroke. It was moving up my neck and through my arms, and it was like I was having trouble breathing, but then it passed in a couple of minutes. So they hit a perfect point, and I'm not sure if it's a bundle of nerves or what that they hit. So it's rough stuff. And I really feel for all the target individuals out there. I'm going to start I've been making videos this whole time, and it may have made it worse for me. I don't want to tell anybody not to make videos, but I'm so out there, like with my videos, that I see a lot of other license plates from other states. They might actually be getting people from other states to come in and, get into an apartment building with remote neural monitoring and hit me in my house. So it seems like he's doing it. This stuff is so deceitful. They're in the shadows, so it's hard to tell. And I'm at a point where that stuff has kind of engulfed the situation to where I can't listen to stuff and be like, okay, well, it's coming from there, or oh, I figured it out, or I can figure it out by their actions. That what they do, and this is what they do, is they put as much deceit on it as they can. They lump it up, so you can't tell what's what. And then, so what I figured now, and I figured it in the past too, but I've got to get on it, is I've just got to get solid evidence of where it's coming from. I'm getting an ELF reader on my new phone. I got one on this old phone that I'm making videos on, but I'm getting a new phone to get one that's more sophisticated. Then I'll get a trimeter too, but the easiest route was just getting a new phone because I already had to do that. Get an ELF reader on there. The one on this phone that I downloaded is really like, it's so basic, and it just gives you a number. It's like 1. It'll go 1, 2, 3, and 3 is like a level where it's not livable. And you've also got to like rotate it in a figure 8 motion, the phone. So it's not really working that great. I've gotten some readings up to 3 in the house, but I don't think it's going to pinpoint it as good. I'm going to keep working on it, though, because it's the greatest evil I've known in my life, and especially because it's two worlds. It's one world is that my parents. I don't know. I don't know what they believe. I think they do kind of believe me, but they don't. It's like my mom. I think what I know about my parents is they know that I believe it. They know that I believe it. Even if they don't believe it, they know that I believe it, and they're helping me fight it. And then, nobody, everybody's kind of either a patroller, citizen, corpse, or, like this guy microwaving. So they all know what they're doing, but then I just look like a crazy person. But then the real world is that they are really doing this. I'm not a crazy person, and this is a huge deal. This is these guys raping and cooking people, and they're doing it all over the world, like these people with this weaponry. So two worlds is people don't believe us. We're trapped. We're kind of disconnected from them, and we're the crazies or whatever. And I'm talking about this remote neural monitoring, which like I have such hang-ups about talking about this. It's real though. Like the way I'm experiencing it, the way that they're reacting, it's definitely real, hands down. And I hate doing this disclaimer every time, but I feel like I need to, because every time that it happens, I'm like, I'll actually think like I'm talking to them. And I'll be like, well, I don't know what y'all are reacting to because I'm not saying anything. And they're like, this guy, he's crazy, blah, blah. He's crazy. We got to get him out of there on the V2K. So they are reacting to stuff that I'm not putting out vocally. And it is happening. And I hate putting the disclaimer on it, but I realize how unbelievable it is to people. I have to do it, though. I just have to do it. God calls me to do this because I'm in it. The situation which brought me to it, I do feel like God has called my heart and called my body into this situation, and I feel like I can make a difference in it, no matter what these people do to me. It's very important because this technology it's so advanced. It could help us in so many ways, and it's being hidden and used by psychopaths. They want to kill people basically to hide the fact that they have it. So they put you on a list and they don't know you. Then if you do figure it out, they got to get rid of you because you know about it. So it's complete insanity. It's the most insanity I've ever known in my life. The most insanity, the most evil, just the most ignorance, the most lying. It's the worst stuff, the most murder, the most, like, because you're in your house. My parents are in Florida. They're 4 hours away. And I was in my house last night, and I did good. Like, I was kind of moving stuff around. I went in my enclosure. I was watching a movie. I watched The Crow, which they just totally, like, they reacted to that because, you know, he kills people in the movie, which I'm not going to do. But I do like the themes about, like, love never dies, and he's, you know, he's pretty much invincible. You know, I like that stuff. But you know, they really got, because it's a violent movie. So anything that I watch or I think or anything like that, they're reacting to that while they're really murdering families. Insanity. It's insanity, cruelty, narcissism on levels that I didn't even really know about narcissism until this. But narcissism on levels that I can't even imagine. Like, I can't even imagine them. But so I wanted to tell y'all about that, definitely, that I'd stopped talking. This is the 4th day that I'm not talking to them. Now, that, like, on this video, I am talking about them, so they're really going to use that. He's desperate. This guy is very desperate to make up whatever lies he needs to make to get more weapons or to murder me or whatever. And I've noticed, though, the bad thing about the not talking, it makes me feel better. I'm like, I'm not going to connect to him. Like, if they judge a thought or whatever, those are my thoughts. Those aren't crimes. These people are trying to act like they are. They're trying to act like they are thought police, that they're predicting something while they're cooking you while you sleep. They're trying to say, like, you having a thought, a regular human thought is like, oh my God, you know, this guy, he's crazy. We're all scared something's going to happen. So it's really, we got to get this technology out of their hands. We have to do it. It has to happen. Like, I don't care how long it takes. I mean, I do care if I die because I want to take care of my family. I want to do certain things. We got to do this intelligently. We got to speak about it as much as we know. You know, we've just got to get the information out there. Like, fighting these, they want you to yell at them and do whatever. They want you to react because that makes you look bad, and they can hide what they're doing. So I figure it's a smart move. It feels like a smart move, even though I've seen, like, I saw yesterday, went to Best Buy because I'm getting that phone, and like a chief fire department guy pulled up, like, right next to me when I was pulling out, and that was sad. And then an EMS worker drove by me, and that was sad because I've been being microwaved all night. It really hurts my body. It feels like I'm, you know, being killed. And then EMS workers drive by us. So that's a very insane thing. And I don't think they know. They don't know you're being microwaved. They just know there's this DHS fusion stuff going on, and they're part of the Citizens Corps. And so they're driving by you to patrol somebody who might be dangerous, or I don't know what the point of that is, really. I guess it's to make you act out so they can put you away or something, or I'm not sure. The evil, it just extends and it grows and it covers everything. So one thing, my friend, I think of him as a mentor. He's very hardcore about, like, you know, go ahead and talk about what's happening to you. Go ahead and do this and that. You know, in these videos, like, he loves them. He's like, you know, people want to know what you're feeling because they're feeling the same thing. And I realize that's really true, and it's really helpful for all of us, because I know that I'm not violent, and I'm not going to do anything that's going to cause my family to get in trouble or me to be put away. So it's good for me to make these videos so we can all get on that page of doing intelligent things against this. If we do intelligent things against this, they might be able to, you know, get us on tickets or something like that, or, you know, do little things to screw up our lives, but they won't be able to just, you know, straight up throw you in jail. But he said, you know, one of his main tenets is we got to get evidence, hardcore evidence. And I'm starting to come around to, I've been fighting a good fight, and I've been doing pretty good. This is something that they don't think you're going to put up a fight. They're exterminating you. They're cooking you. They're going to put you away. They don't expect you to get anything to defend yourself or anything like that. So anything you can do to defend yourself or get evidence or anything like that, it's phenomenal. Like, you should do it. And so I've been putting up a pretty good defensive fight, but now it's gotten to a point where, you know, they're just building it up over there. They have so much time. Nobody believes me, or the people who do believe me don't really want the information to come out. There are people in there who know. and they want to help, they want to stop it, but it's just, it seems like all the good people who want to stop this, it's a very powerful, powerful train coming, and we just can't stop it. We can't find a way, and even if, people went and told the police, hey, this is happening, even if it wasn't me, they might be laughed out of the police station too, even though they know it's going on. Which is, it's a really scary thing, because it's like these people who are murdering are getting a lot of help. They're being rewarded, and the people who are being butchered and microwaved, or their lives, or they just hate this, and maybe they're not being hurt physically, but it's hurting them psychologically. They're not getting any help. EMS workers are, driving around them in circles or whatever. It's lunacy. It's ridiculous, because the people who are getting hurt most in our society are just being called crazies and being butchered, being taken out. Exterminate them. Like, we gotta, just hit this guy in the head. I mean, the way this guy talks about me on V2K, he literally does think of this as like I'm getting some rat out of the house, or a roach. I'm killing a roach. He doesn't think of me as human. The only thing I can go to in that is Nazi Germany and the Jews. Nazis, how they thought of the Jews. Because if he did think of me as human, or he did see my family and saw, like, hey, I'm the same as this guy. I have a family. He has a family. He wants to take care of them. If he did see that in any way, he wouldn't be doing this. He wouldn't be able to do it. So it's like a narcissism where he feels like he's a human and he's good, doesn't really give a crap about me, and doesn't really even see me as human. He just wants me kind of put away or whatever. They say that a lot. Let's put him away. They say he's crazy. What else do they say on V2K? It's over. They say this kind of stuff a lot. They've started to, as I haven't been talking, because they want to say stuff that I'll react to. And I'm at a point where I understand, and this is a hard thing in me, but try and get me to react, they'll be like, let's fuck this dude up. Fuck him up, torch him. And they expect me to react to that. But I react to my thoughts, and they get that. Like I say, that's crazy. That's the craziest thing I've heard. And I've always got to preface that by saying, people who aren't targeted individuals, who aren't being remote neural monitored, you will think I'm crazy. And that's why we're having so much trouble getting help. I hate epiloguing or prefacing something, but the technology is so extreme that I have to explain even how I feel about it, and how I feel it's going to be accepted by people. I've known about the remote neural monitoring for a long time, but I guess as I reacted to it vocally, that kind of took a back seat to how important it was. Now, as I've been silent, going about my business and doing my thing, it's become something they've used more and more. So I notice it's more prevalent. But I guess that's and it hasn't helped with the vehicular stalking. It's made the vehicular stalking worse that I've shut my mouth. Like, it's made that a lot worse, because I guess this guy, what he says is he uses it as a lie. He's like, this guy's not talking anymore. We're really hurting him. We've got him, wounded. We can go ahead with this, because he's a liar, and everything he does is a lie. So I think that's kind of the case in that. It's his lies. It's not actually that people are seeing that, hey, I'm not reacting, I'm not doing anything. It's that funneled into his lie of he needs to, murder me and finish me off. But all right, I think that's pretty much. I did want to say a little thing. If you're waking up in the mornings and you're having a lot of trouble, like I did this morning, with a lot of pressure on my chest, my back, my head. Usually when I'm up, they'll go for my head, and they'll hit me on the sides, like right here in my jaw. And then when I go to sleep, they'll try and work on my chest, or they'll sometimes stay on the head. But when you wake up and you feel like you've been roasted kind of with these frequencies, with these ELF frequencies, try and listen to some music that's really positive for you. or read a passage in the Bible that's very positive for you. Try and do something right when you wake up and you feel that you feel really bad, because what I've noticed is that even when you wake up and you don't do those things kind of come back to you subconsciously, and it kind of empowers you. So you want to do that. You want to do that in the morning as much as you can. If you can do it every day, that's a good thing, because it's really going to stick in there. Just do it every so often, and it'll come back to you subconsciously, and it really helps. I think that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep going with the not responding to him, because I can respond to him with just like thinking, hey, you guys are murderers, I think this is like really satanic. You're cooking me. You don't care about families, and all I have to do is just kind of think that, and they get a readout. I think basically what you're thinking in thoughts, like visuals, they have a screen for that, and then they have a screen for a readout of kind of what you're thinking in words, so it comes out like kind of typed. The problem with that is that I'm very sarcastic, and like I like to joke a lot, so even sometimes my thoughts, even when I'm watching a movie or something, are completely sarcastic, and so they'll read them and kind of read them however they want. That's the danger in this. It doesn't work. This technology is sophisticated, and it can do certain things, but it doesn't work. So these people are twisting everything. You have to know that. You have to know it in yourself. You have to solidify it in yourself, that what they're reading from you, any remote neural monitoring that they're reading from you, they are translating it in a way to kill you. Or I'm not going to scare you, maybe not to kill you, to screw you over, to harass you, to put you away somewhere. That's what they're doing with this technology. And it's really like, it's at a level where they can't tell, like if I make a joke and I'm like, oh, murder's good. Yeah, murder's good. This is fun. This is all fun. It's a sarcastic thought, and I'm thinking in my head, they get a readout of murder is fun. This is fun, and they're going to just interpret it however they want to. What I've started doing is thinking murder is fun. This is great. This is the best way anything could go, and then I just say sarcasm afterwards. Think sarcasm afterwards. Then what you got to worry about is your thoughts being kind of directed towards them, and you want to get away from that. So now that's what I'm working on. I was responding to them, and then it was like keeping all my focus on them. Now I've stopped talking. I'm started doing things, but then my thoughts are still kind of, because they're reacting to them. So now what I want to do is I want to start getting my thoughts back, start thinking of myself, and they can just react to them however they want and do whatever they want. And then I'll deal with whatever physically is happening. When they're hurting me or the vehicular stalking, I'll deal with those things that are in reality. And I guess that this other stuff is in reality, but it's so far away from being proven. We have to get our hands on this equipment. And I want to do an epilogue after I've said all that of, probably if you're not a target individual, you're going to be even less convinced that, my stories are real. That's okay. I have to do this. Like, I have to tell what I know about it. It is what God's calling me to do. It is in my heart. It is real technology. These microwaves, ELFs, they're used in a lot of industries to, shoot into tanks and stuff, and they can see what's inside of a tank. And what they've done is they've figured out a lot of ways to actually, shoot these frequencies into a human mind, and they can pull thoughts, they can put thoughts, like they can microwave a word or something. And it's the things that they can put in aren't as complicated as the things that they can take out, because they're just visualizing something on your visual cortex. It's a very complicated image that you've created in your mind. They can maybe make something as a word, and I think they can do images and stuff. One of my friends said, for me, I don't think I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, I really don't. I just know that when you have a thought that's you know it. And when you have a thought that's not you, you know it. And there's ways to defend that too. I'm a very visual person. I love comic books. whenever I sense like a real negative thing like in my mind, I will just visualize like either Iceman icing down like my whole, like a front of my view. It's hard to explain, but if you get some powerful imagery, some powerful defensive imagery, like visualize powerful defensive imagery in your brain, and kind of try and fight anything that you feel isn't you. So this is about remote neural monitoring. Definitely, I'm putting myself out on a limb, but I'm already there. I'm already way out on the limb with this stuff. So we've got to go all the way. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't go all the way. The guy's gonna. He really is. He's doing some powerful ELF. I even have defenses, and he's playing it he's acting like I'm a military combatant, and he's like, even when I'm asleep, it's some kind of fight, and it's the craziest thing I've ever known of in my life. So I'm already way out on the limb. That's kind of where I want to be. It's not where I want to be, but if I could go back, I'd still be here, fighting this thing, and I'm there, so I'm going to go out further. Because it's important. This is like our world. This isn't just like, oh, this is a problem and we need to kind of tone it down. This technology is changing our world whether we want it to or not. Whether we know about this technology or not. Most target individuals know about this technology. Even some non-target individuals, the people who created this technology, we know about it. So, and then some people in society totally don't know about it, and that's why these people are getting away with it. But it's there, and it's affecting our society in a bad way, in a very, very bad way. It's killing people. It's raping our minds, basically. Raping our bodies with the ELF, the electromagnetic energy. So if it's going to affect our world, we want it to affect it in a positive way. And if we want it to affect our world in a positive way, we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to fight, and we're going to have to fight on intelligent levels. And I don't want this to be a video that's like, frantic and panicky. I'm just saying this technology is going to affect our world no matter what. So if you are affected by it and you have knowledge about it, it's either negative effect or positive effect. These people who are murdering me in my house, they think they're doing positive stuff with it. They're entrapping a person. They're making whatever up they want to. Nobody knows enough about the human mind to microwave a couple of words or images out of somebody's brain and be like, oh, this is what that person is. We're not there. We're not there. We're not ready for that. And so these people are abusing the technology, hands down, solid. That's a definite notification from me. These people are abusing this technology and lying about it. Because not even a neurologist who looked at the images of what they're seeing with remote neural monitoring would know what the hell he was looking at. Because he wouldn't know about sarcasm. He wouldn't know if you felt something good when you said something, if you felt something bad. He wouldn't know if you thought about something, if it was a metaphor for something that you felt about, or if it, they don't know. So these people are twisting that because people are ignorant about the technology and the human mind, and they're twisting it so they can murder and entrap people and put them away and make them look bad and create false flags. This is very dangerous stuff in our culture, in our society, and it doesn't have to be. This technology can be in the right hands. It can be a windfall for our species. It could be a windfall. It could make us understand each other a lot more if it was in compassionate, empathetic hands that were trying to understand it and not just trying to shove something in so they can make something that they want. And it's important. I have to do it. And I know a lot of you out there are saying the same thing. You're like, well, we have to do it. We have to fight it. We know about it. I'm getting further and further along to where, I think, my parents, if they saw this video, they'd be like, he's out of his mind. He's talking about people actually using a microwave to pick up words that he's saying and putting them out on a screen. He's out of his mind and we're scared. I hope they don't see this video, actually. But I'm fighting for my parents. And someday, maybe not in this life, maybe they'll know that I did the right thing. And we've all got to think that right now. We've got to think that because this is a confusing. They're trying to make you look crazy. It's advanced technology with ELF, with electromagnetic frequencies, and it's all along the spectrum. And they can do really, really, really advanced things with it. And they're using it for evil. They're using it for evil because the remote neural monitoring stuff they have is very rudimentary. And even at a rudimentary level like this, you can pick up some things, but you can't understand them. Like you can see them, but you can't understand them. So it makes these people even more dangerous because they're liars. They want to lie about you. They want to lie about your whole life. Say you're dangerous. Say you're crazy. So they can, get weapons and get people, vehicularly patrolling you so money can be made and all this stuff. And it's dangerous. That's very dangerous because, you can actually understand certain things if you take it and you're like, well, that's something that he's thinking, but I don't really understand where it's coming from, and then you go from there, and then you advance the technology there. But they're not doing that. They're making up whatever they want in their heads about something that they don't understand what they're seeing. So you need to solidify that in your mind that they don't understand. Don't be like these people. They're reading my thoughts and they know everything. No. This is technology they're seeing on a screen that they don't understand, and they're making into whatever they want. So you need to be bold in what you know about yourself. Everybody thinks, through their visual cortex, flash thoughts come through. You need to be solid on who you are. That's one very important thing. I'm solid on who I am. I know I love my family. I know I'm not a bad guy. I know I'm not a violent guy. I know the worst thing that I've done in life is smoke pot. These people, smoking pot compared to what these people are doing is like bumping into somebody and then going, excuse me, I just bumped into you. And they're like, what are you talking about? I didn't even feel that. So a very important thing. And I would just, if you don't have spirituality or you don't believe in anything, just try and believe in something. Just believe in something. Whatever you believe in something. Like, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. These things have taken me further than I could have ever gone. I couldn't have done any of this stuff. Like, last night, I was sitting there, and they were really hurting me yesterday. They were hitting me in the chest. They were hitting me in the head, and I was like, man, this is it. I can't get another plate. Like, I've got so many plates. These people are piling up the weapons. And then it's just like an image flashed in my head, and it was like I could move a plug over and move the plugs for the plates over here, and then get more shielding on my walls. And I was like, okay, I'm going for that, going to do that. And it, like, when you move a plug, it takes a while, so they did hurt me during the night, but it was a good move. Like, I know from how I'm moving stuff, it was like, okay, that's going to solidify over there. The closer I can get them to their weapons, the better I can do. So no matter how bad it looks, and this is bad, some people being hooked into your, visual cortex, things that you're just pumping out, things that you're just thinking of when you're looking at stuff, and then they're judging that stuff. That's a prison. That's the biggest prison anybody's ever been in life. But we've got to be free. It's not legal. These people have no power over us. They're just looking at stuff. They're looking at stuff and they don't know. So we've got to think of this as not a prison. It's just whatever these crazy people do to us. That's the prison. That's the thing we got to deal with. Let them look at your thoughts all day. Know who you are, and it makes it easier. Know who you are. Don't let them take you on a ride. Don't let them take you on a ride. They don't know what they're looking at. Okay, these people are not scientists. They can't tell you who you are and all this stuff. Know who you are, because that's what's made me really strong in this. They sit there and they're like, he's nuts. Look at that. Look. And everybody thinks. Everybody has thoughts. Everybody has images in their brain. The thoughts live inside your head, So it's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy used to murder people. Be really solid on who you are. If you don't believe in anything, believe in something. Get something, believe in it. Believe in it hard. And something good, not just anything. Because I think these people have strong beliefs too. They're just really insane beliefs that are very bad for our species. Maybe good for short-term gain for them, but so I mean, I think they have beliefs. I don't think they're just total nihilists. But that nihilism is a belief too. So I'm not talking about negative beliefs. Believe in something, that people mean something, that life is precious, spirituality that feeds into love. And that was a great thing on The Crow. Like, I mean, I know it's a violent movie, and I'm not gonna go out and take revenge on anybody. I think that's the worst thing we can do. I think we got to be intelligent, get the information out, speak to people who don't know about it, get our hands on some of it somehow. But it was a message that love never dies, and it was something. I had the song. It's like, see, this is where my faith leads me in the real world. My faith leads me in many places in my heart that aren't in the real world, that are so strengthening. But all day long, I had the song in my head from the movie. I had it in my head the whole day. I was like, I really want to watch that movie. And I watched the movie, and there are these messages about love never dies. And I felt like, I was like, man, this is getting too hard. I'm not even talking, and they're still just, raping me and cooking me when I sleep. And it's like I watched that movie, and even though, like, violence, whatever, the main messages in the movie really lifted me up. And it was like, even if I do die in all this, it's like, I know there's something else. I don't know what it is. Like, being a Christian, I guess other Christians would be like, you're going to heaven. Like, I'm kind of unsure about exactly what it is. I know there's a God. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I'm not sure what that after is, but I know there's something. I feel it. Like, I feel it. And it comes through this world. Like, it comes through this world, and there's such synchronicity in my life about this. And this loving force in the universe knows that I am going through a hard thing for me. Like, it knows. It's like, man, I know it. Like, it doesn't say this to me or anything like this, but it says it in my heart. When things match up in the world, it's like, I know, man, I know. I wish I could just stop it right now. But you got to go through this. You got something to do. You got something to do, but I know it's so hard, and I love you, and it's gonna balance out. Like, this thing keeps telling my heart that, even though it's like really bad in my human mind, in my human body, I'm like, I can't do it. My parents don't. They're in Florida, and these people are murdering me in my house. Like, this is crazy. I can't do this. But then that thing, that spirituality, that connection to a loving force in the universe, and that's what I'd really encourage y'all to believe in. It brings you along. It shows you things in the world. It brings nice people into your life. I want to end it on this. A lot of people say, that they think their family members are involved, hurting them and stuff like that. Be very, very careful about that. Be very careful. And I'm not saying that these people, they may have a different family than me, but that's one of the things that if I didn't have my family to help me, and they don't believe me. I mean, and they believe that I believe what I'm saying, and that's enough to keep us fighting together. Sometimes it doesn't make them too happy. They're stressed out. My mom is like pretty much, she's gonna have a heart attack from stress from just what's going on with me, and that makes me feel like a million times worse about the whole situation. But my family really loves me. So don't, if your family reacts in a way that might seem like gaslighting, or they might just be trying to help you. They might just be trying to be like, well, you believe that, but stop believing it, and then, it'll be okay, because they love you, and that's what they think is going on. So please be careful about that. Like, if in your situation, your family really is like that, I'm so sorry about that, and you deal with that, and find some other people that can be your family, because there's another family for you out there that loves you. But be very careful about that, because my family does. My mom's like, I think she kind of has the belief that if I just think the right way, if I kind of just, my psychiatrist, if I just get this out of my thoughts, that it'll be okay. And that's not gaslighting. That's them caring about you, not knowing that this is happening. So be very careful. And I know it's a very complicated issue, be careful about the people you love and how you deal with them, because they can be there to help even if they don't believe you. And I've said this a million times, but without my family in this with me, I wouldn't have made it. And without my God, without my faith, I wouldn't have made it. I don't think I'd be here. So these things are very important, because we're dealing with something that's it seems impossible. It seems impossible. All right. Go ahead, leave comments for me. Okay, and let me end it on this. Okay, I'm sorry to go into this. I didn't want to put this news out because I couldn't find the article on it. Somebody in a conference call, a lady who's very trustworthy, I just don't know where she got the news. She said that the Department of Defense was pulling back directed energy weapons from police departments around the country. So I'm trying to find the article, and I need y'all's help, because I'm talking to the guy on the conference call. I'm trying to get him to help me find the article. So I'm going to go ahead. I made a video where I was like, I have some great news, but I don't want to say it until I find pure proof of it. But I guess with this stuff, I need y'all's help, and we need each other's help, even with with remote neural monitoring, with things that are happening in our government to kind of take these weapons away. I think what's happening is, but leave your comment. Please email me if you know where to find that article that the DoD is pulling directed energy weapons from police stations around the country. I really feel like this is coming because I think a lot of good policemen and a lot of good agents and a lot of these people, they're seeing how it's spreading, and a lot of them they do see far ahead. And they're seeing that citizens that aren't doing anything, that it's a waste of money. It's giving money to people who want to drive around all day. It's a waste of resources. And I think these men are finally seeing this. They're complaining to the government. They're complaining to their sources. They're not coming out. They're not coming out like me and saying, "Wow, we're using all this technology," because these men are involved in these systems, and they know they'd just get kicked out of the department. So I think that these guys are working on this. They do see the long run. They do see that this is innocent civilians, so they're working on it. They're working getting the DoD taking this away. I did see something, though. I saw the Air Force and the DoD, they have a bunch of experimentation. With directed energy weapons, they've been given grants to experiment with it. Now, they don't say who they're experimenting on. It says animals and people, but it doesn't say, people living in their houses. It doesn't say all this. But it did say something about the Air Force continuing experimentation in San Antonio for 7 years. So that's a piece of news, and I'll go ahead and I'll try and put a link to that. But you can basically just go to the Department of Defense website. Go to the Department of Defense website, go to grants and directed energy weapons, and they'll tell you. I mean, they've got news about how they are giving grants to the Air Force has I think it was something $1 million. It was a couple $100 million to experiment with directed energy weapons. And in San Antonio, they said it's going to go on for 7 more years, and that was a recent article this month. But then I heard that other news that, that the DoD is pulling directed energy weapons from police departments. So it may not be, it may be pulling this way and that, but I do know that there are good men in every agency, in every part of the armed forces, that they can't just come out and say oh, this is happening, because it doesn't have as good of an effect. So I think these men, they stay in their positions and they try and tell the right people, because I think they think it can move bigger waves. And I know that's happening. Just as I know there are good men on the earth, I know that's happening. And that may be a reason that the DoD is going to have to wrap this up shortly. The experimentation, how it's gone out, I don't know if that's the DoD's fault or the Air Force's fault. They might have human experimentees that do volunteer, and then these weapons have been stolen or something. I really don't know. I don't know. I know that a lot of y'all would be like, yeah, stolen. But we can't worry about that. We got to worry about stopping it. We got to worry about stopping it. We can't worry about the mistakes of this agency or that agency. We got to worry about the people who can fix it. I guess we do have to worry about the mistakes of agencies because we can't let this kind of stuff happen again. And it happens over and over and over. Americans and people all over the world get experimented on without morals, and it's innocent people. We've got to try and stop this on other levels too. But, as a target individual with the directed energy weapons, the electromagnetic frequencies, remote neural monitoring, V2K, that's a big plate. We have a big plate. So I think as a target individual, I'm going to focus on this problem because this is a big problem that needs to be solved. And I know there are other people all over the world focusing on experimentation and things on a wider scale. This is kind of where we come in and we tell our experiences so we can stop it on this level. But go ahead, just stay strong. Please believe in something. Please believe in love, if nothing else. It can give you a lot of strength. It can make you see things that you didn't see before if you think you're in a situation you can't get out of. Please believe there are good people on the earth. There are good people on the earth. So even if you're surrounded by people who are just don't care about you and they are, murdering you or cooking you, there are good people that you can try and get to. Be careful with your family. If they love you, if you know they love you, and you think they've all of a sudden turned on you because they're gaslighting you, saying this doesn't exist, please be careful with that because sometimes your family wants to tell you it doesn't exist to help you. They're not gang stalkers, They're not people who are like, oh no, this doesn't exist, so you can be hurt more. They really don't think it exists, and they want to help you. They want you to think right so you can get out of that situation, which we know that it is really happening, which is the hard two-world part of it. It's two worlds. We see our loved ones, and they're like, this isn't happening. It's not happening, and they want to help you, and it is happening. So you can't just make it stop happening, and that's hard. But we'll get through it. Please have faith. Please have faith, and in your experience, take what you can from it to put information out. We got to get this information out. We've got to get ways of defending ourselves. More importantly, we've got to get proof. Proof is the most important thing. I think you need to defend your body so you can do these things, but the goal here is hardcore proof of these frequencies. I don't know of a way, I'm not going to say I don't think we'll ever get it, but I don't know of a way to prove the remote neural monitoring right now or anything like that. But who knows, in a couple of years we may actually have equipment, to do that, to pick that up, or we may get some of this. There's so much floating around out there, these remote neural monitoring stations, that somebody's got to be able to put their hands on something. We've got to be able to show people. So this stuff's coming. This is on the verge of happening. This is on the verge of us stopping this stuff. So don't stop now. Don't give up now. Don't give up. Keep hope, and please believe in something. Please believe in something good. Something good where people matter, where life is precious. Please keep believing. It's super tough for me. I went into my room last night, the back room. I can't move around my house because if I go into the rooms next to this my main stalker's house, there's just such high pitch coming right by the wall because he has ground EHF. It's not on the remote. It's not remote, so it's not hitting me in the middle of the house. But I go into those rooms, and it was the worst high pitch I'd ever heard in the world. And I did that on purpose. I went to that room just to see how bad it was. There's always a way, even if it doesn't seem like it. That's why you've got to get with your spirituality. You've got to get with something higher, and it will lead you there. It will give you a path. I really love you guys. I really love you guys. And love never dies. Love never dies. These people, they might kill me. I don't know. I don't know what's in God's plan. I don't want to say that to be negative and depressed. I want to say that in a hopeful way. They may kill me. It may be in God's plan. But I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to go out killing people. I'm not going to go out shouting at people. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out helping people. So please tap into that. Tap into this higher power. Tap into your spirituality, your beliefs, whatever you believe in. You know, you're gonna, like, that's the whole thing about not responding to these people vocally. When you respond to somebody vocally, like I respond with negative things, cuss words, like I hate you, you know, you're satanic, this whole thing's satanic. That's me. I choose to voice my negative thoughts. Now, if you have a negative thought, that's not your fault. You're a human. You're a human. So know solidly that you're not a negative person, that you're not a bad person. Everybody has negative thoughts. So let them chew on those. Let them chew on them. Give them to them. Be like, yeah, that's a thought. Whatever. Use it. Like, and if you have flash thoughts about, you know, whatever regular humans think about. I don't want to go into what regular humans think about because we all pretty much know. Like, we all know without microwaves. Like, you know what, you know, people think about. We're all flawed. Nobody's this golden person that doesn't think about, like, natural human things. So, know yourself. Know yourself. Know the truth. You know, get spirituality going for you. We are close. There are things happening, and I know it. I guess I have faith in this one because I'm trying to find news. So please, if you can find that article on the DoD, please go on the DoD website. You know, directed energy weapons or whatever, anything you can find, because I heard the DoD is pulling these weapons out of police departments. So if you can find that article, please send it to me, vulcanwolverine@gmail.com, or leave a comment with a link. I would really appreciate it because I want to read the article on my video. Also, I'll probably be reading some of the papers released, you know, from the DoD about study of directed energy weapons, the grants for the Air Force experimenting with them. Like, there have been articles written and news about the DoD experimenting with this stuff on animals and people. It just doesn't say who, you know. So then we have this. Then we have targeted individuals, and it's like, well, that's who, you know, because you don't know. Where are the labs? Where are the research labs with the scientists and volunteers? Like, that would be posted. So they admit that they are experimenting on human beings with directed energy weapons in the United States. Where are those human beings? They're right here on the screen. They're right here. They're you guys. I mean, it's deduction. If any of you can find any labs that are experimenting on people with directed energy weapons, you know, that, you know, this is where the experimentation is occurring, and, you know, then we can learn about that too. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm going to try and make more videos because, you know, my situation is pretty, I don't know, it's taxing and it's unsure. But as long as, the thing is, as long as I know who I am, and I think voicing a bunch of negative stuff, not doing that helps. You're going to have negative thoughts about this stuff. But it's helped me. It's helped me in a lot of ways. I can go about my business. I haven't said anything to these people, and, you know, now it's been 4 days. So I feel less guilty, and they're still chomping at the bit. You know, they're still like, you know, like, we got to kill this guy. They're actually getting worse, you know, because I think they want me to react to. But I feel better. You know, I feel better mentally and spiritually. I feel better. But you got to do what makes you feel like you're fighting this in a good way. So I'm not going to tell you, definitely do that, definitely do what I'm doing. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. This is a complicated situation, and you might have a path that you think, you know, can fix it better than what I'm saying. And I love that. I love that. We should all think differently. We should all think out of the box. This is something that nobody's going to be able to come out and say, this is what we got to do. This is going to take all of us thinking differently and thinking of really good things that we can stop this with. All right, guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it hit me in the neck right there. All right, so I love you guys. God does love us. He is with us on this. You know, it is a big Red Sea here. But you never know what's going to happen. And I'm talking about in a good way. So I love y'all. God bless you all in your struggles. Please comment. Let me know if something's working for you. My friends who text me, please let me know how y'all are doing. You know, I have a friend who kind of got away. He didn't get away from it totally, but he got to a place where it's better. So so I'm really happy for him. You know, sometimes I think I'm like, I don't know if I could maybe just get away from this house and just move to a house that's not around anybody, but I don't know, because I'm around people with these weapons, and I can get a lot of evidence that could help a lot of people. So I don't know. I'm torn on that. I'm a human being, so I roll it over my mind, and I'm sure the answer will come to me. You know, and we just got to struggle through it. Just struggle through it. But it's easier to struggle through it when you have faith in something. So please believe that human life is valuable, that it's precious and sacred. Please believe in love. Please believe in good people. You know, please believe that there's a loving force in this universe. I know it. I know it. I see it in this world. I see it in this world. You know, and all these people. I mean, there's people around me who are even like, they know they're really good people, and they'll never stop being good people. And it's just, you know, there's great people in the world, and there's good times ahead. And this stuff, you know, when it's not known, it can be used for evil, and it can be used for selfishness. But when it's out, and then everybody will have it, and it will be able to help us. So let's keep going. It's important. It's important, y'all. Just do your best. Do your best. Please email me, comment me. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna start making that an everyday thing. Like, I haven't been doing that. I've had so much to do, like in, you know, the regular world of not being targeted and just trying to survive. And I haven't been answering enough emails and connecting with you guys. I know I say that on every video. I get sick of myself promising that I'm gonna, you know, do a bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna try as best as I can to answer comments, to answer emails. You know, we've got to get together. I think even not just through talking to each other cross-regionally, we have to get together regionally. You know, I was even thinking, well, you know, I want to go ahead and end this video, but I'll talk about it later. I do love you guys, and stay safe. Stay as safe as you can. If you can't buy defensive weapons and they got ground stuff around you, you know, just get away from there. You know, sometimes it's like, you know, I came to my parents' house, so I retreated to my parents' house, and it's a little bit better than my house. Probably wouldn't sleep here because then I wouldn't have the enclosure above me. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. And this isn't something where you can go and box the guy. You know, I can't go up to him and kick him in the nads and box him and then have okay, we're done fighting. So part of the fight is getting out of there sometimes, is getting away or going to this place or going to this place or going to this place. Right now, I'm in a place where I'm playing it. You know, I'm playing it there. I have my defenses. I don't think I can take them off the wall, so I'm fighting to stay there, and it's kind of scary, but that's the situation I'm in. You've got to take your situation, and you've got to come at it where it's a unique situation. These weapons are put around you in a certain way. They're a certain power. You know, they've gotten so many of them, or they don't have so much. So you got to think it out, pray about it, pray about what you can do. You know, I'm in my situation that I'll tell y'all about, but everybody, the weapons are pretty much the same. But the situation, the amount of the weapons, the amount of people around you, you've got to kind of suss it out and do what you think is gonna, you know, save you, get you to the next place, you know, and help you to keep going. All right, stay strong, y'all. You know, just take what I've said, and if it works, try it. If it doesn't work, do what you want to do. Comment to me. Like I said, if you're not a target individual and you're like, you need to get on your meds, go ahead and leave a comment. Like I don't care. This really is happening. So, I mean, I do care. I care. Like I'll talk to you for a second if you're like, you're totally crazy. Somebody actually microwaving your visual cortex and getting some kind of readout. You're schizophrenic or whatever. I'll talk to you for a second. Now, if we keep going back and forth about like, oh, well, then I'm going to drop it because it's not worth it to me. It's so important that I'm going to move on because it's really happening. And it's happening to a lot of people in America and the world. So, but still leave your comments. Still leave your comments because discourse is important to this world. And the situation that targeted individuals are in is no discourse. It's people who are in the shadows going, we're going to kill this person. We're going to torture him and kill him. And there's no discourse. There's nothing you can say. Like, you can be a good person. You can be a benign person. You can care about your family. It doesn't matter. So discourse is important. Like, I want discourse with people who even disagree with this whole thing. Because that's going to, if I can talk to you and convince you, or if you can get interested in it and look into it, and you are some individual who's actually really intelligent with equipment and frequencies or engineering, then you can help us. Or you can't, It is what it is. So, all right, guys, God bless y'all. I will see you on the next one.